Hey guys, it's Rosie or Top of Bricks here, and today we're going to be doing a video on LEGO's pricing system and why I believe personally that the system is broken or at least unfair. This video is going to be split into two parts. Part 1 is me discussing the incorrect conversion rates LEGO sets seem to be sold at, and part 2 is me questioning why in some countries LEGO is more expensive than others. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So to start off, I'm going to be comparing the LEGO Harry Potter sets as an example from the UK to the US prices. The issue I'm going to highlight here is present in all themes essentially. I'm just using LEGO Harry Potter as an example as that's the main theme of my channel. So the first thing we have to take into account when looking at the US price tag is that it does not include taxes, whereas the UK one does. So we have to add that on before we compare the actual prices. Okay, so you join me on a website which actually shows you the sales tax rate or the state tax rate for each of the 50 states in the United States of America. So there isn't actually a standard tax rate like across the board for everyone. There's no national standard tax rate. It's all individual per state. So I was initially going to do an average, get the average number and do it off that. But I thought, you know what, I'm just going to find a state which has the highest tax rate and go by that and assume that everyone's going to be in that tax rate, so the price is as fair as possible to comparison. The highest sales tax rate is actually in California. There are a few states including Alaska which doesn't have any sales tax, which is quite nice. You're going to get your LEGO a lot cheaper if you're anywhere but California, but that's not all to take into consideration because that's your sales tax. There's also a local tax which is similar to a council tax in the UK, and I've got a chart of them here. So for example, New Jersey has a negative local tax rate, which is quite interesting, but you know, a lot of the states have 0% local tax, a lot of the states have 0% state tax as well, but you know, there's no like general average. I mean, some range to 5% and a lot of them at 0, so you could say 2 or 3%, and you could say for state tax rate the average is probably 5% or something like that. But I'm not going to take the averages. I'm going to sort them by the most combined. So I'm going to assume you're in Tennessee, which if you're in Tennessee, you're going to be paying the most for your LEGO out of any other state in the US, out of the most out of all 50 of them. So I'm going to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and assume all my audience who is in America lives in Tennessee to give the most fair and balanced comparison as I can. I'm just going to assume, okay, you're going to pay this much for your LEGO, and I'm still going to show that even with this 9.47% combined tax rate, that the UK and Europe still pays a lot more for their LEGO than the US does. So I'm going to increase the prices, the retail prices of the LEGO sets we're going to look at today for the US by 9.47%. Okay, so you join me on the LEGO store now, and we're looking at the UK LEGO store. So what we're going to be doing is I've got both tabs over in the UK and the US. We're going to be looking at just page 1 of the Harry Potter theme again. This applies to basically every single theme, and just choosing page 1 of the Harry Potter theme because, Harry Potter's my favourite theme. So we're going to convert this price and this one and all of them into USD, right? And we're going to compare which has got the better deal. But obviously, like I said, I'm not taking this as the final price. I'm going to assume that my entire audience is in America, and regardless of where you are in America, no matter what state you are, you're not going to be paying more than these prices, because what these prices are here are inflated by the Tennessee 9.47%. So the only chance that you're going to be paying these prices in the US if you're in Tennessee, essentially paying retail price. There is no way, if you're in any other state in America, you're going to be paying less than this. But I'm just going to give everyone the benefit of the doubt just in case someone goes, yeah, well, I'm in Tennessee, So you're not going to be paying more than this. And I guarantee that the US still gets a better deal on its LEGO compared to the UK and the rest of Europe, which is weird for a European company, but it's just an observation that I've made. So what we're going to be doing, like I say, converting these to US dollars and seeing how they compare to these inflated Tennessee prices. Okay, so the Diagon Alley set, so that's $437.87, which is a lot of money. However, £370 converted into USD today, as of the 6th of September 2021, is $511.78. So an extra $80. $80 is a lot of money just to be added on for no apparent reason. This is, again, with taxes both taken into consideration. And if you're in some US states, it's $111.78 or 79 even added on top, because obviously some states don't have any tax. But again, we're assuming that people are in Tennessee here. The Hogwarts Icon set, $273.67. It's only £230 in the UK, I believe. Yep. When you convert £230 to US dollars, we get $318.13. So an extra $50. And all this adds up. $80 here, $50 here. We're only at 2 sets. Granted, 2 expensive sets, but if you're like me and you own all of these sets, it does add up over time. So the Hogwarts Clock Tower, $98.51. In the UK, it will be $117.55. So an extra 20. You know, so we're only up to what $150. I think, yeah, $150 in 3 sets. I mean, we can go on, but if you add up the difference between the last 3 or 4 ways we've had a Lego Harry Potter since 2018, it's probably going to be close to $1,000. It's actually quite crazy. Let's look at the brickheads. You know, they're $27.36 here. That's a very cheap set. But even in the UK, you're paying more, $3 more. But it adds up. You know, how many brickheads are there? There's 5 or 6 brickheads. What's 5 or 6 times 3? You know, it's almost $20 just extra. Hogwarts Castle, $437.87. The Hogwarts Castle in the UK after conversion is $484.14. So again, an extra $50. The Chamber of Secrets, $142. Sorry, in the UK, $179.82. So an extra $40 logged on. The biddable figures, $131, and we pay $165.98. Oh, that's a lot. That's another $35. The mosaics, again, $131, and we pay for our mosaics $159, so that's another $30 added on. The Attack on the Burrow set, $109, and we pay $124, so again, another $15. And I could keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, but I think you get the point. So, for example, Fall Privet Drive, $76.62, where in the UK, $90, so go on, throw an extra $15. I mean, this is just my observation. It doesn't seem totally fair, especially since I've bought all these sets. I've bought the wave before, the wave before, the wave before, and that's so much money technically down the drain, where if I was somewhere else in the world, I'd be saving. I'm not really sure what the answer is. My theory is that it's production costs. Maybe it's cheaper to produce in the UK, in Mexico than it is in Belgium, because I believe the European manufacturing plant is in Belgium for Lego, and for the North America side, it's in Mexico. I believe all Lego sets in America have been manufactured in Mexico. I'm not totally sure on that, but that's what I've been told. Maybe it's cheaper to manufacture Lego over there, and that explains the price difference compared to Europe. I don't know. I'm just guessing. If someone watching this can explain the difference to me, I could be convinced, and at least I understand why. But it's just, for this observation, at least on the surface, it just doesn't seem too fair. But what I can't explain is what I'm going to talk about next. Okay, so you join me back on the Lego store now. This issue, which I've noticed, can't be explained away by conversion rates, even though I've hopefully settled that argument in the previous segment. This just doesn't make any sense to me, and if someone can explain it to me in the comment section below, please do, because it's just hurting my head at this point. So in the UK, the Diagon Alley set is £370, which is fine, okay? It's £20 more than Hogwarts Castle, also fine, great, brilliant. But in the US, they're both $400, both the same price. So how does that work? How can 2 different prices convert to the same price? That literally makes 0 sense. And to make it even more confusing, again, Diagon Alley more expensive in the UK by £20. In Australia, Diagon Alley is $50 cheaper than the Hogwarts Castle. It's literally $50 cheaper. What? how can it be more expensive in one country than another set, but in another country the other set is more expensive? What? That makes no sense whatsoever. So if I say Hogwarts Castle is more expensive than Diagon Alley, am I right or wrong? Well, it depends what country I'm in. If I say Diagon Alley is more expensive than Hogwarts Castle, am I right or wrong? Oh well, it depends what country you're in. It's silly. It's beyond silly, and this is not just a random exception, you know. We can look at the advent calendar, which doesn't make any sense at all in conversion rates. In the UK, it's £25, so £3 more than the brickheads. £3 converts to about $5, so you'd expect that in the US there'll be a $5 price difference, but no. So the advent calendar, if I can find it, is $40, $15 more than the brickheads. So how can this brickhead, right, be $3 more in pounds than, if you know what I mean? It only goes up by 3 here, but for the advent calendar, which is only £3 more than the brickheads, it goes up by 15. That's not correct conversion. And if we look at the Hagrid's Hut set, for example. In the US, it's $60. The chess set is $60, both the same price. Fantastic. In the UK, though, however, the Hagrid's Hut set is, if I can find it, the Hagrid's Hut set is £50, while the chess set, I believe it might be on page 1, so £50. The chess set is $65. What? £15 price difference, which converts to about $25, by the way. So there's a $25 price difference between these two sets in the UK, but in the US, exactly the same price. That makes no sense whatsoever. That's got nothing to do with conversion rates. It's just false. In the UK, the Hogwarts Express is £75 and the Clock Tower is £85, so there's a £10 price difference if I can find them somewhere on here. Yeah, £75 to £85, a £10 price difference. On Australia, I believe, if I checked correctly before, they are the same price. Yeah, they're the same price at $140. So how can these two sets be the same price in one country when in the UK they're £10 apart, or about $20, or about 25 Australian dollars? It's absolutely ridiculous, and I'd love to know the reason why, because I just don't feel that any of this is fair for people in Europe and people in Australia as well. That's just my observation. I'd just love to know answers regarding this. If you've had the same feelings and thoughts on this topic, then let me know down in the comments below. Let me know that I'm not the only one. But again, I'm really looking for someone to explain it, so if you can, I'll heart your comment and maybe even pin it as well if someone gives a good explanation. But yeah, that's been it for this video. A pretty dull one, I know, but hopefully I'll be back in a couple of days with another light-hearted video of mine. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye guys.